guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to do an update to a video I covered about 7 months ago, which was titled, Single MOM Wife Pulled a Bait and Switch Immediately After We Were Married, So I Pulled a Divorce. And guys, as a recap, because it was 7 months ago, this is about the guy who was not married once, but twice, but 3 times. 3 times. And after getting married to the single MOM, she pulled the bait and switch. And this guy realized what he did was obviously a huge mistake. And the video ended with him, aside from describing his life and his situation, that he was on his way out and was going to divorce her. Now here we are 7 months later, and our guy is free as a bird. But he's going to share what's been happening since, the things he went through and that type of thing. So for those of you guys that saw his story 7 months ago, I'm sure you'll probably remember, like to hear an update how he's doing. And, we're going to go from there. And if you haven't seen the video, if you're new, I'll post a link in the top of the comment section description so you can go watch that and come back here and see what's going on. So he says here, Dear SSM, today I was awarded divorce. Congratulations, my man, you're free. I'm sending this as a follow-up to a previous email I sent you roughly 6 months ago where you read my story on your channel. The point of my follow-up is to share with you and your viewers that even though a man can make mistakes, some of them really dumb, you can turn things around and redeem yourself in your life. This is what I feel I've done, and I like to share my follow-up with you and your viewers to encourage those who may feel some of the mistakes they've made are not things they can overcome and still have a wonderful future. I agree. We all screw up. We all screw up royally sometimes. But if you learn from your mistakes and take action to correct things and not make the same boneheaded mistakes again, yeah, exactly. And I guarantee you there are guys all over the world now that may watch this that are struggling in some area of their life. So this will give them a little bit of inspiration. When I sent you my story, I knew that you and your viewers were going to rip me to shreds for the stupidity of the decisions in my life. Well, you got that right, sir. I expected it and actually welcomed it as a personal slap to myself for doing some stupid-ass shit. Mainly getting married again for the 3rd time. But as I'm about to share with you, I'm having the last laugh. As I share with you and your viewers in my email, I've been separated from my 3rd wife and waiting the 1-year time period before I could file for divorce as per the law in my state. In my state, you must be living in separate residences for over 1 year, and at least one of you must not have the intent to reconcile in order to file for divorce. For me, that meant I could not file for divorce until late April 2024, which I did. When I first consulted with my attorney over a year ago, his advice was to have absolutely 0 contact with my ex, pay down debt, and lay low until we can file the paperwork. I followed his advice to the T. Good. Always listen to your lawyer. I also remained single and celibate the entire time, refusing to have anything to do with any women that would bring me more problems in my situation. Since filing for divorce in April, we had tried to serve my now ex-wife numerous times, but couldn't locate her. Now, let me tell you guys, this next part here, what he has to go through to track her down, it's amazing. I don't know what she did to evade all the serving attempts. She had Harry Potter's invisibility cloak, I don't know what, but goddamn. First, we tried to serve her through the sheriff's department, and then we tried to serve her through a process server, which is essentially a private investigator. Finally, we tried to serve her via certified mail and could not locate her either that way either. The odd thing is, during this time, she actually sent me a box full of mementos using the address we were trying to serve her at. I know what you're thinking, she had to be there. But trust me, even the PI tried to serve on her 3 separate occasions and could not locate her. That's really bizarre. Again, she's got Harry Potter's invisibility cloak. That's the only explanation for this. He even drove around the neighborhood looking for a car or to see if maybe she was staying somewhere else, and went to a friend's house to see if she was possibly living there. I don't know, maybe you need to hire a new PI. Maybe he wasn't working very hard. Anyway, the next step in the process for my state was to serve by notification the newspaper. In order to notice by publication, you must have permission from the court first. Ha ha! Yeah, good luck there. So my attorney was building the case to petition the court and ask if we could serve divorce by publication in the newspaper. The newspaper, that's got to be embarrassing. And how many people read the newspaper nowadays? That's why he tried to have her served multiple times by the sheriff's department and then multiple times through the private investigator, and finally by certified mail. Then my attorney could take all this documented evidence to the court and ask that we make a notice by publication in the newspaper. Once we got approval from the courts to serve notice of divorce by publication in the newspaper, the notice had to run in the paper 3 consecutive weeks. If there was no response during that time, we could then ask the court for a hearing in which my attorney would ask the court to grant me divorce. My attorney made it crystal clear that we had to take every possible measure to try and locate her and serve her with divorce papers. Otherwise, the courts would reject the service by publication in the newspaper. Again, listen to your lawyer. I mean, yeah, if there's any shred of doubt in their mind that you didn't do everything you could to reach out to her, then you're not going to get it. The newspaper thing. The obvious concern of the court: a person cannot divorce someone and the other person involved not even know that they were divorced. So after going through all those steps, we finally served the notice by publication of the newspaper. I live in a major metro area, but I was very confident that she would not see the notice, as most people do not read the newspaper anymore. In the case of my ex, she never read the newspaper anyway, so this notice by publication was a wonderful way to get before the court and ask they grant me a divorce. To remind you and the viewers, we have no kids together, and our finances have been completely separated since August of 2022, when she walked out on me. 2 weeks after I lost my job, I might add. That's right. What an amazing timing there. You lose your job, which, newsflash, can happen to anyone. Oh, she's out the door. I have a 15-year-old and a 20-year-old, and she has a 24-year-old and an 18-year-old. You may remember from my story, the final straw for me was when she wanted me to not pay child support, but give her the money because she was in financial straits. Yeah, gee, how did she get in dire financial straits? By her own stupidity. She was in financial trouble because of what she did by walking out on me and all the problems that she caused. I refused to give her any money and told her I was done with her and would be filing divorce as soon as our state would allow. Long story short, there wasn't anything to fight about in our divorce anyway. As a side note, debt collectors have been calling me trying to find her for months. My attorney told me that through his research, she has been sued by debt collectors twice since we separated. One was able to locate her and serve her papers, and the other one was not able to serve her. So essentially, she's been on the run from her debts. Amazing that the one debt collector was able to find her, but your private investigator could not. Sounds like your PI wasn't working too hard. Or he found her and she sucked him off in the bushes to get him to go away. I don't know. So my ex eventually did reach out to me multiple times during this 2-month period when we were trying to locate and serve her divorce papers. A few times via email, 1 text message, and 1 phone call trying to get me to meet up with her or speak with her. Don't you dare. That's a trap. I blocked her emails. She even created a new email and resent messages to me. And then I blocked her phone number when she tried to call me and text me. No contact whatsoever. She even sent a text to my sister and tried to call her as well. My sis immediately blocked her too. I'm glad your sister's on board here. Sometimes these sisters in these stories take the side of the ex, which infuriates me. I know my ex, and I can assure you that my refusing to respond to her in any way absolutely drove her crazy. It's usually how it works. Now, you and your viewers might be thinking, couldn't you have simply emailed divorce papers back to your ex when she emailed you? Well, my attorney never suggested we do that, and I never brought it up. I kept all her contact attempts a secret, as to not hinder my getting in front of the court to have them grant me divorce, without her actually being located and served. I didn't want to give her an opportunity to show up for the court hearing either. The fact of the matter is, we did legitimately try to locate her and serve her, but couldn't find her. Well, you said that's what happened. What's amazing to me is her last attempts to contact me. She actually had delusions of us working things out. That's because that's how they operate. They think they're a prize. And they think, well, you were dumb enough to marry me the first time, so I'm sure I can sweet talk you and change your mind. 7 years of hell with her, and she actually thought I would take her back. She even flirted with me in the email. The woman is batshit crazy. Well, you say she's batshit crazy, but let's think about this. As Obi-Wan once said, who's more foolish, the fool or the fool who follows him? So she may have been batshit crazy, but you're even more batshit crazy for marrying her crazy ass. So let's think about that. And I had forgotten that you actually said you were together 7 years. I can't recall if you were Married 7 years, or you were with her for a long time, then you married her, and that's when the bait and switch happened. I forget. And yes, she professed her love and how she's changed. Changed my ass. She said how I was right about so many things and how she should have listened to me, to her kids, family, blah, blah, blah. Tell your story, walking bitch. So the court granted me divorce today, and I walked away absolutely scot-free. No alimony, nothing. Well, congratulations, brother. You're free. And all I can say is, don't fuck it up. And I'm sure guys all over the fucking world are watching this and saying the same thing. You are forbidden for ever getting married again. You are forbidden for even living with a woman again. If you want to date and do relationships, knock yourself out. But and even then, I'm a little wary on that one, because I don't know if you can be trusted. But I hope you can be. I hope you learned after all this. I mean, frankly, you getting away scot. I'm glad you don't have to pay alimony and you're free and all that. But sometimes guys gotta take a licking to learn their lesson, you know. Anyhow, he says, and what about my ex? She's back where I originally found her. A broke, single MOM, living paycheck to paycheck, alone. Karma sure is a bitch. Indeed. Rare is it, guys, that we actually get to witness people get what they deserve in life. It'd be fulfilling, you know, when people do you wrong and seeing karma strike them in some capacity, but rarely do we get to see it. But people tend to get it in ways that, you know, those who have been harmed don't get to see it, but it'd be sure nice. So where am I now today? In the past year, I paid off all debt to where I'm completely debt-free. I know I owe no one anything. My credit score is well over 800, and I expect to be 850 soon. I'm kicking butt in my sales job to the point I will double my income this year. Wonderful. You are a rich man to most people out there if you don't have any debts and you got a 800 plus credit score and you have the capacity through your sales job to really skyrocket your income if you handle things right. That's wonderful. Incidentally, when I first consulted my attorney, he told me that now that I was getting rid of my woman, I will see my finances skyrocket, and boy, they have. Indeed, because by and large, most men don't need to spend money the way that most, not all, but most women spend money. Physically, I'm in the best shape of my life, having focused on staying active over the past year, getting in excellent shape once again. Good for you. Hitting the gym, what you gotta do. I'm 52 years old, but I look younger, and I'm often told that by people. They think that I'm in my early 40s. My mantra for life has become, know your worth, protect your peace. Yeah, I want you to remember that. You need to tattoo that across your goddamn forehead. Protect your peace, meaning don't get married again. So now I'm single again, and I have so much to look forward to in my life. My plan is to move back to Florida once my son graduates from high school in 2 years. Well, Florida will welcome you. The real estate market's in a correction right now for lots of reasons, and I don't see that ending anytime soon. And even if mortgage rates go down, the high insurance premiums sadly are scaring a lot of people away because they can't afford it. It's unfortunate. So in a couple of years, you might have opportunity down here. Just stay away from fucking condos. It's a goddamn mess. Single family homes may be your option. That is where I'm born and raised and where I want to be, as I'm a surfer and beach guy. So again, I wanted to send this follow-up to you and your viewers to illustrate that you can make some really bad mistakes and bad decisions in life and yet turn things around and redeem yourself. When you posted my video last time, there was a guy who commented saying that I didn't sound like a simp, but I sure acted like one. That guy was correct. I was always a very strong man, but years of being in a terrible marriage had beaten me down. Look, I've done stories of guys clearly who were once bad boy Chads, and eventually they actually did want a relationship and a girlfriend and kids one day, and then they lost their ways and they were taken advantage of. All of us can make mistakes. The thing is, dude, you got married 3 freaking times. You know, I mean, I couldn't feel too bad for you after 3 freaking times. But I know you know this, and in your early 50s, so, you know, just don't do it again. I'm not saying that's an excuse for letting it happen, and I take total and full responsibility for what I've been through. I'm just saying it for the men out there who are beaten down and feel fatigued. I'm saying it for the guys who need encouragement that you can get your strength back and find you again. That is my success story. I went through 7 years of hell, but I've come out of it on the other end much stronger and wiser man. Well, that what does not kill you makes you stronger. Good. Very good. That's why I'm doing this story, because we like updates. And again, I'm sure there's lots of guys out there listening to this that are going through a hard time and have fucked up. You can get through these times, guys, right here. My boundaries are firm. I will never marry again. Well, good. I'm going to hold you to that. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, thank God. And I will never be legally bound to anyone ever again either. I will not even live with someone. We'll see. I would like the companionship of a woman, but it will only be within my strict boundaries. If she's not willing to accept my boundaries, she will be shown the door. Anyway, SSM, your work is greatly appreciated by a lot of guys out there. Thank you for reading my follow-up email. All the best to you and all the guys watching the follow-up video. Take care. Well, man, congratulations on your freedom. I'm really happy that you wrote in. Glad you're doing well. Glad that, you're debt-free. Credit is great, in great shape and all that. Okay, you got a clean slate again. Let's keep it clean. Think about this. You're obviously a relationship guy. Okay. I forbid you from being in a relationship for at least 2 years. You can date girls. No exclusive relationship. You got to work on yourself. Keep up with your job. Kicking butt. Maybe plan that relocating to Florida thing or wherever you might want to end up being. Spend more time with your kids. Focusing on you. And then that point then when you want to, because you are a relationship guy, it is what it is. You are who you are. You remember all along that you're a guy, as you said, that's in your early 50s. And you do damn well financially. You have no debt, good credit, all that. And obviously you can get girls. So remember that you are a prize. And, still, a man's prime really begins in his 30s, but it's going to continue on to his 50s. And so you date a gal you like. And you get in a relationship, and she brings it up, of course, and all of a sudden she starts trying to push you to move in together, or where's this going, wanting a ring. You stand firm with what you're saying here in this email. And if she doesn't like it and pouts and all that, remember something. If you start thinking, maybe she's different, remember, you're a catch. You're a guy who has his shit together. You can replace her. There are billions of women on this planet. I'm not saying you want all of them, but the point is, there's a lot of options out there. Women hold the keys to the bedroom. Men hold the keys to relationships. Don't forget that. And these women that you see don't like your terms. That's okay. Move on. You'll find somebody else. It is what it is. And do not move in with them. Okay? And hopefully, after 3 times for this shit, my God, I'm thinking like Ross and Friends. I think Ross was married and divorced 3 freaking times. I think it had to be a joke with his lawyer because he kept showing up every few years. But anyhow, good for you, and I wish you all the best. So yes, I appreciate you writing in, and your story will help someone out there that's going through a hard time. So gentlemen, if you take anything from this story aside from the obvious, stop getting married multiple times and really do your homework on your girl. We all screw up. All of us. I've had screw-ups in life, and I learned my lesson. Sure as hell didn't make them a second time. And so can you, and you can get through this, Just even if you're 50 years old and you've been a screw-up your entire life and you finally have gotten your shit together, okay. The next 50 years, you live to be 100 years old, you take care of yourself, and you're really lucky, frankly, can be amazing. So don't let the past dictate your future. That's all I want to say. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And, guys, you got a good story you want to share, email me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. And if it works for the channel, I'll definitely cover it. This also includes any questions you may have, just a random 1-page, 2-page question about a scenario you have. I call Ask SSM. I like to throw those in once a week. Send in your question. Again, I might not cover it, but you never know. It could be very helpful. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.